So I've wanted to go back and revisit one of the books from my childhood. As a matter of fact, the first book I ever read. This is my original version from when I was a kid. One of the few things I actually do still have left over from then, because obviously most of it I've gotten rid of. It's a bit of a state, as you can probably see, but it was the first book I ever read and typed in anything from. Oh god, it's falling apart. It's probably not the most exciting video in the world, but I sat here and I typed out every single program that was in it. For the sake of being able to actually read it, I was typing in the programs from this version that the missus got for me. As you can tell, this one is in a much better state. I'm going to spare you the actual typing in, I'm just going to show what they all do. So the first program we have is names. So, got this typed in, let's give it a run. And yeah, there it is. Multicoloured names, like it says in here. It has a little suggestion at the bottom here, where it's try this. In line 30, change ZX Spectrum Plus to your name in quote marks. Alrighty then. Let's have a go at that. Perfect. Right, the next one we got is patterns. Don't think we're going to quite get the pattern that it's showing on here because, you know, it's randomly generated. So let's run it and see what we get. Nice and blue and white. Not bad. Should try a couple more, shall we? Nope, green and white. White and white. It's got an obsession with white. Green and white again. Have I typed this wrong? Starting to feel like I have. Black and white. Well, then again, looking at the actual program, yeah, it never changes the paper colour, so white it always is. Alright, that makes sense. Okay, next one is flashing circles. I quite like this one. I remember this one as a kid, and it kind of fascinated me. Right, let's crack on. I mean, it's obviously showing the limitations of the square colour attributes and all this kind of thing at the 8x8 grid, but I don't know, there's something about it I just kind of like. That's a cool little effect at the end as well. I forgot about that. Okay, that was a bit of a lazy pattern. Come on, up your game. You can do better than that. Okay, quite a lot of red and black. You know what? I can live with that one. Now we've got Manic Mosaic, which basically just has little squares sort of going across the screen, and then once they hit the edge, they repeat on the other side or go through or something like that, if I remember correctly. Yeah, pretty much like that. Random colours. Interesting how a lot of these will like print ink colours that are the same as the paper colour, so they just get like an invisible pattern. So like you can see, obviously when it's stopping there, it's either probably drawing in white. Does it go on forever? Yep, looks like it does. And now it's polyhedra. The picture's got a six-sided shape. You can pick whatever at the beginning, if I remember correctly. And like I remember putting in like 1 and 2 and it would just draw a crappy line. But let's go for the 6. Let's go for what it's got written in the book. Or displayed in the book, should I say. It takes its time to do it. Lots of little beeps going on as well. Crazy thing is the very image of this has been burned into my brain for so long. It's one of those things that, again, I saw at such a young age and it's just stayed with me for reasons I can't explain. Gotta be getting close now. Yeah, we can't be too far off. Beeps are getting a little bit out of range there. There we go. Stars and stripes now. I guess the Union Jack was too much of a pain in the arse to do, and the England flag wouldn't have been as impressive. So, let's run in. Yep, that's exactly what it says on the tin. We got Shimmering Sunrise now. So, I think it depends on like the colour, random colour choices you'll get, whether or not it'll actually look like a sunrise, but let's have a look. Like, yeah, that's not quite a sunrise. But it is nice. It is a nice little pattern. I think it pauses and then carries on again. Oh, blue on blue. So yes, not a hell of a lot to see, only to hear. Oop. I do kind of want to see an impressive one, or at least one that's close to like the book. That one's close pattern-wise, but not colour-wise. Come on. Can you give us a yellow and red? Ooh, no. I don't know, man. This one kind of looks like cauliflower or something. Maybe we'll just give it one more, see if we can get something that looks like a sunrise. I wouldn't say so. Number chart now. Unsurprisingly, I imagine this displays numbers. I mean, as you can see, not the most complicated listing. Multiplication table now. It's showing the 1 to 3 on here, so let's do that. Let's run. Let's get our 3 times table going. Yep, there it is. And on it goes. I love how this one is just color tester, but like, I mean, look at the program. There's nothing to it. You just, yeah. But it does have the suggestions underneath, and it's like, change like the border, ink, and paper. But it's not actually in the program. But hey, let's do that, shall we? Let's have a border 2, a paper black, and an ink 6, let's say, and run it. Yep. Unsurprisingly, there's your result. Color combinations. I really was fascinated by this one as a kid. I think it was like the second thing I ever typed in. Just watching it go through the colours and all the ascending sort of beeping sounds. Again, as a small child, this very much amused me, especially when it was something I'd typed in and made happen. So you might as well let it run through and do its thing. All these years later, and I'm still kind of half mesmerised by it. Don't know if it's because I'm half asleep or what. Yep, and there it is. Bar chart now. Always made me think of the weather broadcast as a kid for some reason. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's functional. Right, this one's just an extension of the previous. It's double bar chart, like I say, just gives you a few extra lines to like either change or add in on there. So we just do that, and then you get the secondary one underneath. Yeah. Right, random squares. Bet you got no idea what this is going to be, eh? Yeah, pretty simple looking program. Because it is. We'll at least let them fill up the whole screen, I think. To be honest, it kind of just reminds me of when games used to bug out. Oh, there it is. Rainbow. Nice, simple, colourful. And there it is. It's weird when you sort of look at it. It kind of looks like the, the actual blue part is like hollow, because obviously it's the same as the background, but yeah, I still like it. ZX Robot. I always used to struggle with this one as a kid. For some reason, I think I just got like the spacing wrong, and his right hand would always disappear. Plus, I used to struggle with the actual like block graphics as well, wasn't it? But I think I got it right this time. Let's hope. Hey! Probably the first time ever in my life I got that right first time. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Star. So this is where the draw commands actually come into play, like the plot and draw ones. And obviously it's going to draw us a star. Yep. Right, now, similar to the bar chart one, this one just basically says, you know, add a couple of lines and then we'll get like a circle around it and some colours. So that's what we've done. And it's what we get. So still with the draw commands, you've got solid triangle. So that does it with the lines, yeah, straight across the screen there like that. That's kind of cool as it forms, to be fair. Right, and again with this one, we've got a, here, add this line, and obviously it's no longer solid because it's going to add the step command in to jump over. And now it kind of looks like a comb or a fan. A sketch pad and example. Obviously the example's not in the code, it's on the picture. I am not drawing that, I do not have the patience to even attempt that. We will go with the same colours though, right? Yeah, is it ink 6 I think the book's saying? Okay, let's what can we do here? It's not quite, you know what? We'll make this work. Can you tell what it is yet? Beautiful. Squares. Squares. Pretty sure this is where I learned what symmetrical meant. Like literally from this very program. It is pretty cool how it does this one. Like I say, it's a rather larger listing as well. You probably saw at the beginning. When I say a large listing, compared to most things in this book, it's not large in the grand scheme of things, being real. And technically, it's not entirely symmetrical if you really look at it. But that's kind of being nitpicky, isn't it? Right, now we're into the good shit. Pyramids. This was the first typing program I ever typed in my entire life. I remember just seeing, obviously, that little screenshot and being like, yep, I want to make that happen on the screen. I want to see that in front of me. And now, all these years later, I'm seeing it again. If I've typed it in right, I'm pretty sure when I first typed it in, I got it wrong and there was pyramids missing, like I got the step number wrong or something. I remember it going a little bit ajar. But yeah, here it is. Well, it's another one with an addition. So obviously now it adds like a little sort of laser line, I guess it is, or something that shoots stars into the sky. I believe it makes beeping noises as well, doesn't it? Yep, and there it is. Again, endlessly fascinated by this as a kid. I was like, oh wow, not only have we got the pyramids on here, but now it actually does something. It's animated. I wonder if I even knew what animated meant at the time. I'd only just learned what symmetrical meant. Or had I even? I don't think I'd even typed that one in yet. I probably still didn't even know. Right, this was definitely the first UDG I'd ever put into memory. And the way it sort of tells you to do it as well is like, it's a weird method looking at it now, but obviously it sort of spells out the grid. I mean, I'll say you can see it on here, and the ones and zeros in the binary code. Anyways, let's run this. I actually have a fear of spiders in real life. Not these colourful little fellows, though. I've always liked these ones. I remember first seeing this screen filling up with them and, again, being somewhat fascinated by it. I suppose anything really colourful when you're a kid, it works, right? Right, chessboard. It's really hard to tell if you've gotten this one right or not, because the UDGs are so tiny in the screenshot that, I know I'm wearing glasses, but even when the eyesight was good, I couldn't see that. Well, let's run it and see if it looks okay. I'd say so. I guess that's how it's supposed to look. Like I say, it is very, very hard to tell. I guess I did know what animation meant, because here it's teaching me. So falling spider, this one, so it just comes down on the little web at the side. Very quickly. And yeah, it tells you then to slow him down by adding the old pause 10 line, which I've done on here, so there you go. That makes it a little bit more comprehensible. Right, and then there's the lines to make him scuttle away, which is right by the screenshot on here. So we've added those. So he pops on down and then buggers off. Yep. Well, he doesn't fully bugger off, he stops at the end of the screen. Right, for this one, Spiders and Pyramids, it requires you to have the spider still in memory as a UDG, but it's not part of the code. It also means you've got to type out all the pyramid stuff again and then add all this to it. So, now done that, let's run and hope to God I got it right. So this will be when these spiders fall down from the sky. I'm pretty sure a lot of us, and I know I definitely have at some point, have like made an actual game out of this when you're learning and fiddling around with BASIC, particularly the next section, which we'll see in a bit. But yeah, for now, they just fall down. The line shoots about, but it doesn't do anything. But it will do in the next bit. Yeah, here we are. It's the exploding spiders part. So we've got those lines added in. Run it again. It'll draw the pyramids, but each time the line hits them, they now explode with a little explosion graphic, which is one we'd already added earlier, but haven't actually utilised until now. But yeah, I remember making just a basic game out of this where you could like move a cursor and then control that to shoot them out of the sky, and there's like a time limit or something on it. I think I've still got the file of it somewhere on one of my drives. It's fucking crap. It's an absolute, it's a basic shit game around a period when I was making a lot of basic shit games. But yeah, I get the feeling I'm probably not the only person that's been inspired to like turn this into an actual game. Right, bouncing ball. This is basically collision detection. Like if it detects the edge of the screens, it will bounce off, and if it touches the X's, I think that's it. It just dies, doesn't it? So let's run that. Yeah, there we go. Beeps and everything as well, and hits that, and there you go. Right, so we're now into like music and sound effects, and this one just plays the entire range of the beat range, I guess, numerically. Like I think anything above or below this is out of range. Let's listen to it. So at first you can't really hear it. I guess the pitches are too high or whatever. Or maybe they are for my telly or something, I don't know. So we're going to again. Is this going to -60 apparently? Yeah, I forget what the exact ranges were in that one here. Now it's getting kind of inaudible. And yeah, that's your lot, I guess. This one, another fairly simple one, just bubbling. Sounds like something you could chuck in a basic game for like when you get your ass kicked or something, game over mate, you're done. This one's machine. I mean, this is a machine, so whatever noise it makes, it's gonna sound like a machine technically, right? But hey, let's go. Alright, fair enough. Lift off, pretty simple, as you can see, very, very straightforward, but I remember liking this one. Pretty sure I used some kind of rip-off of this in a game at some point. Now, even though it's a simple one, this is a really clever little one. Keyboard converter, where it basically turns every key into a note. And as you can see, for a very basic program, but it's quite clever. Let's try it. Oh, okay, not break. But enter, space. Okay, they don't have it. You know, it would have been impressive if I'd actually learned to play something on this. So now it's told me to go back to the Scuttling Spider program, so I've typed that in again, and add the old sound to it. Okay, cool. I mean, wish I'd known that earlier, but I suppose it's my own fault for doing this in order, really, because I kind of knew this was coming, but also kind of forgot. That's pretty cool, though. Right, now there's one last one tucked away near the back. Beyond basic, this is obviously when they're talking about machine code. You can see on here it's poking these values into memory. I'm not smart enough to know exactly what this is doing at all. All I do know is that it's putting those numbers into those memory addresses, and then it's running it from the beginning of that address and producing instant stripes or a barcode or whatever. I remember it kind of blew my mind as a kid. I had no idea how that functioned, even though now I have a fundamental idea. I couldn't tell you specifically what those values are representing as far as like assembly code commands or whatever, because I am just not that intelligent. I've done very minor assembly code stuff for like I think it's literally just shifting data from one portion of the memory to the other, usually to the screen and back. Yeah, so I did it for the sprites on Dash until the finish. And I did it for some of the loading screens and stuff as well, actually, yeah, like time menus in Burgle games. That's about as far as my knowledge of that goes. The rest of the time, it's all compiled basic. I'm cheating. But yeah, this was fascinating to see back then, and it's kind of funny that to this day, even though I have more of a base understanding, I don't really fully understand it. If you've made it this far, thank you very much, and you must have the patience of a saint. Right, that's a lot. Have a good one, and I'll see you later.